at the end, I mean, everybody was talking about the two players, Stützle and Byfield. For us, it wasn't really like, we really look at Stützle, but for the good of what the direction of our franchise, we know a guy like Quinton Byfield will really help us. The way he plays, a full 200-foot games, he's got great hands, a ton of speed. So we really feel that's going to help us in the future. And having a guy like Anze Kopitar to mentor him, we really feel that's going to help him.
Luc, we heard all sorts of rumblings all summer long. Was it going to be Byfield? Was it going to be Stützle? Back and forth, back and forth. Ultimately, we trust that you guys had your minds made up. But with 10 picks left for the Kings to make, are you as confident in the next selection as you guys were in the number 2 overall?
Well, we're kind of hoping a couple guys fall through. Like last year, it happened, and the way that every team has their own list. And last year, a couple guys like Kaliev and Fagemo we traded down a little bit to get the kid like Samuel Fagemo, but those guys were on our list, and we were hoping they'd be there. And actually, Kaliev, we didn't think he would be there, so it was kind of a no-brainer for us to jump on. And so you never know what's going to happen. Sometimes there are surprises. You sit down like a week before and try to do these mock drafts, see what would happen, and we think we might be able to pick up 1 or 2 guys that are high on our list that they might slide.
Ordinarily, the draft takes place, and all the executives and scouts and everybody are on the floor. You get deals, hammered out, often side conversations and everything. This year, obviously, having to be done remotely. I'll ask you to pull the curtain back a tiny bit, and feel free to tell me no. But with the Rangers jersey ready to go for Lafreniere, the Kings jersey ready to go for Byfield, and Alex Trebek participating in Ottawa's reveal, was there some pressure from the league to let them know where you were leaning a little bit in advance to give them time to prepare for different eventualities, or was it all just a surprise as it is any year?
No, not at all. I mean, I think it's a surprise for everyone. I mean, the one thing that they asked us, we had called, say, look, if we want to, get a jersey ready and so forth. They said, well, you could send it. I think the league, what they did is the rest of the kids, they sent them hats for every team. So I think we're getting 31 hats, each of those kids. And so whoever grabs them, they're going to give 30 away. They're going to have 30 friends, But that's kind of why we did it. And we tried to hide it and keep it quiet. I think Blakey had talked to his agent because, no one, we would have liked to have like an ex-player to come in and they're home. But because of what's going on, it was kind of impossible to do. So we just try to do the best we could. But we send him like our trainer Darren Granger does a great job at the draft. He puts the year, and then like in 2018 when it was Dave Taylor, there's a little message, because it's a retired jersey, and did the same this year because it was my retired jersey. So it makes it like a good souvenir for the
Obviously,
for the
Kings have been acquiring and holding on to high-rated prospects for the last few seasons. Multiple publications ranking the prospect pool first overall. Does that put more pressure or less pressure on Quinton Byfield to show up in the NHL sooner rather than later?
I think when you're an athlete and you want to be the best. This kid has been one of the best players since he was a little kid. I mean, he's been captain of most of his team. He's won numerous championships, and the kind of kid he is, I know he wants to make the NHL next year. He wants to have an impact. And you want that kind of, we always talk about culture and character and so forth. You want to have players that feel and think that way, that they want to come in and make the team and take a spot and then have an impact right away in the NHL. And I know he's got that attitude, so I expect nothing but that from him.
You mentioned leadership being important. When the Kings were building the team that won the Cup twice in 3 years, it felt like to me as a fan, every time I turned around, a different guy was being acquired that had worn a letter at some point in his career. And I'm beginning to get that feeling now where, even Cal Peterson, right, was captain at Notre Dame, right? The goalie. I mean, is that something? How important is that to the front office to acquire guys with that kind of pedigree?
Well, the letter is not what's important. Is the kind of person and the kind of character we have and the kind of leader. Is Toby Bjornford was a captain, but it's the kind of leader, the way he pulls people with him to be better. Mikey Anderson is kind of like that. Alex Turcotte's that type of player. I mean, Kopari last year was going to be like was winning a letter at the World Junior Championship, you know, and they're type of players that pull players to come with them, and they're willing to pay a certain sacrifice to help the team have success. And yeah, you know, Jesse, you're right. We're really focused on that. We know how important that is.
We had a we had a trivia question earlier about what round of the draft you were taken in. The round doesn't exist anymore, but I argued that I think it should. Should we expand the draft by a few more rounds, get a couple more guys in the system?
I think if you'd expand the draft, we you know, every team would draft, you know, more players, because there's so much work being done by scouts now. The only thing is for kids, I never thought of it that way before, but if a kid doesn't get drafted and he works real hard the next year, sometimes he'll become a free agent, you know, and it's to their advantage. So it doesn't mean if you don't get drafted, you won't move forward. I mean, if a player is a good player, has a good year in some league or something, he will be seen, especially the way communication is today with technology. You know, there's more and more 19-year-old and 20-year-old that are starting to come through. And then you look at the way everyone's chasing these college free agents, and they're signing like their #1 picks overall. So I think it's fine at 7 because I do believe now it gives the kids a greater opportunity in the future.
Great advice for younger kids.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The Kings acquired Ole Mata in a trade, which appeared to be, you know, helping Chicago out of a financial crunch. With 10 picks left in the draft and plenty of teams looking to offload larger contracts, should we expect movement on that front from the Kings moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, we're listening. We're listening to everything, and Blakey's talking to everyone. And if there's something that makes sense for where we're at as an organization, we'll look at it. That's what I can tell you. We're listening, and we're picking up the phone. And if there's something that can help us, you got to remember, everything we're doing is to help us, you know, get to the next Stanley Cup. So every time we're looking to bring a guy, like bring Ole Mata, like he's 26 years old, and you know, he's going to be, you know, besides Drew, our oldest D, you know. But he's got experience already. It's amazing that, you know, he's 26. He seems like he's been around the league forever. And this kid, we know the kind of kid he is. He's always in a tip-top shape, and he's won a couple cups, and he knows what it takes. And he's going to help our young guys coming in and bring him to the next level.
Well, Luc, we know you and the guys have a busy day tomorrow, rounds 2 through 7, potentially 10 picks for the Kings. So we want to thank you so much for your time today, your thoughtful answers, and we hope to see you soon.
Thank you, guys. Good to see you.
Thanks, Luc.